Paul, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you, David.
Now, I want to start today with your giving us an overview of your company and your products and services.
Sure. Well, NameSilo Technologies is a domain registrar. So if someone has heard of GoDaddy, which I think most people have, you get a rough idea of what we do. We provide domain registration and a myriad of website services that anyone needs to build a website presence or to have an online service.
What would you say is the essential value proposition? Why should investors take an interest in NameSilo today?
Well, we are one of the fastest growing domain registrars in the world. And actually last year, if you take the last 12 months, we were the second fastest growing registrar out of roughly, well over 2,500 in the world. And we literally grew faster than companies like GoDaddy and Web.com and a number of other well-known entities. So, apart from the growth itself, we're a profitable business. And we are expanding rapidly and able to capture that with almost pure word of mouth. We have almost zero marketing spend. So we're really one of the anomalies in this industry: high growth, high profitability, and expanding margins.
Well, you reported record revenue and record earnings in the third quarter. What accounts for that growth?
Well, we just doubled down on what we do well. We provide the lowest cost for a typical domain. And what's been happening is the industry is recognizing that, customers are recognizing that, and we're getting more word of mouth traffic. And with that, on top of the additional services that we launched recently, we're seeing that continued growth. We've managed roughly a 65% compound annual growth rate over the last 5-6 years, and we see no reason why that's going to be able to slow down.
How big is the market opportunity?
Well, there's over 350 million domains registered every year, and this is a business where every year our customers have to come back to us and renew their domains. So there's a significant amount of repeat revenue that we get in this industry, but the industry overall is growing at about 5% a year. So, you can categorize the industry as about a $3 to $4 billion industry, of which we're, one of the top fastest growing ones in there.
What are some of these new products and services you recently launched?
So almost all the growth we've seen up to date has been specifically on our core domain product. So, URL, a domain name that somebody is looking to purchase. What we've launched now is hosting services and email services, premium DNS services. So a myriad of different things that people need to either have a web presence or improve their web presence. And there's a whole bunch of other services that we've launched as well that are geared a little bit more towards the professional domain investor. So things like brokerage services, a marketplace where people can buy and sell. There's a whole bunch of different services that we add on. And what's nice as well is we now are getting a lot of third-party companies that have new technologies, and they come to us to try to have us resell their product on their behalf, and we split the revenue. Nice piece there is that we have very little costs to bring on these services, but because of our large and growing customer base, more and more of these companies are coming to us to try to partner with us for that.
Let's talk a moment about your management team. Who are some of the key players?
So, our team's made up of several individuals that have deep domain experience. Christoph Ronka is our operating CEO. His sort of claim to fame is he took a company called AdParlor from scratch and built it out to $100 million run rate revenue before it was successfully purchased. And really what we've done with this is he's sort of put the band back together, so to speak, and brought some of his key technical people as well. So the deep experience they have in running an online business and running really a marketing business, they've been able to transfer it here. And with that, we've also brought on two key individuals who were responsible for another domain company startup, which they eventually sold to Web.com. So we've got deep industry experience and a lot of sort of technical experience around being able to grow an online business almost in a guerrilla fashion, which really is the kind of business we're running here.
How have you capitalized the company thus far?
We're a public company. We raised money to do this transaction about 2 years ago. A lot of that is money that a lot of the insiders put forward. We've been not needing any funding because we are profitable. So we're stewards of our capital. We're large shareholders ourselves, and we continue to insiders continue to buy. So the capital is being carefully stewarded here. But it's the old-fashioned way. We put our own money in, and we try to treat it well.
To recap, Paul, what's the main takeaway for investors today?
Well, we've got a rapidly growing business that's profitable. It's spitting off a lot of cash, and it's completely unrecognized within the investment industry. We trade at a fraction of the metrics that all our publicly traded competitors like GoDaddy and Two Cows and Endurance International. There's a number of them out there, but we're trading at a fraction, and yet we're growing significantly faster than they are. So I think just from that standpoint alone, we think we're a tremendously undervalued investment.
Strong growth, record revenue, record earnings, insider buying, very large market opportunity. There's a lot to like here. Paul, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you so much, David. Thank you.